And we're back. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's Saturday morning. I'm recording this video on yesterday's WBC games. And I woke up, checked ESPN, and Shohei Ohtani already hit another home run. Crazy. He really might be the best player ever. But let's get into today's video. Alright, baseball fans, the World Baseball Classic is officially underway. And if these opening games are any indication, this tournament is about to be absolute chaos. Three teams that everyone has been watching closely just played their first games of pool play, and every one of them made a statement. Team USA came out and absolutely destroyed Brazil. Japan had a historic offense explosion led by, of course, Shohei Ohtani, who launched a grand slam and somehow keeps rewriting baseball history. And the Dominican Republic, one of the scariest lineups in the tournament, unleashed a late offensive surge against Nicaragua, with big moments from players like Juan Soto and Junior Caminero. Now, as a baseball fan, and especially as a New York Mets fan watching Soto closely, these games tell us a lot about what might happen next in this tournament. But if these three teams keep playing like this, we might be headed for one of the most stacked championship rounds in the WBC history. So today, we're breaking down Team USA's dominant win and Aaron Judge setting the tone, Japan's record-breaking night with Shohei Ohtani, and the Dominican Republic's explosive offense, and what these opening games tell us about the rest of the tournament. Let's get into it. Let's start with Team USA, because their opening game sent a very clear message. This lineup is ridiculous. Team USA walked into their first pool play matchup against Brazil and walked out with a 15-5 win. Yes, 15-5. And right from the start, the tone was set by the captain, Aaron Judge. Judge launched a home run early in the game that immediately ignited the offense. That's what makes Team USA so dangerous, because when Judge gets going, the entire lineup feeds off that energy. This is a lineup filled with power hitters, elite athletes, and MVP level talent. When the offense starts clicking like that, it becomes incredibly difficult for any pitching staff to slow them down. Judge isn't just another slugger in this lineup. He's the leader. He's the face of the team. When he steps up in big moments, it changes the entire dynamic of the game. That home run in the opening game wasn't just about putting runs on the board. It was about setting the tone for the entire tournament. Because when Team USA is confident and swinging the bats like that, they become one of the toughest teams in international baseball. The thing that stood out the most in this game wasn't just the win. It was how many different players were involved in getting the win. This wasn't a one-man show. Hits were coming from everywhere in the lineup. Were piling up, and before Brazil could even settle into the game, the scoreboard had already started to look ugly. By the time the game ended, Team USA had hit up 15 runs, and that kind of offensive output immediately put the rest of the tournament on notice. Now, if Team USA's performance was impressive, Japan might have been even more explosive, because their game against Chinese Taipei turned into something historic. And at the center of it all, once again, was Shohei Ohtani. During a massive offensive inning, Ohtani stepped up to the plate with bases loaded. And what did he do? He crushed a grand slam. Of course, the crowd erupted, the dugout exploded, and suddenly the entire world was talking about the same thing again. Shohei Ohtani. But the crazy part, the grand slam was only part of the story. Japan exploded for a 10-run inning, one of the most unbelievable stretches of offenses we've seen in the tournament. Hits, walks, extra base hits, home runs, everything was happening at once, and by the end of that inning, the game had completely been flipped. What makes Ohtani so fascinating in tournaments like the World Baseball Classic is the stage. International baseball is emotional. Crowds are louder, the pressure is higher, and the spotlight is global. Ohtani thrives in those moments. Whether he's pitching, hitting, or both, he seems to perform even better when the stakes are high. And that's why Ohtani has become something bigger than just a baseball player. He's become a global sports icon. Fans in Japan love him. Fans in the U.S. love him. Fans across the world tune in every time he plays, because when Ohtani's on the field, anything can happen. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament, the Dominican Republic. Their matchup against Nicaragua started off closer than many people expect. For a moment, Nicaragua actually gave them a bit of a scare. The Dominican Republic offense did what it does best. It exploded. Once the lineup started heating up, the runs came quickly. One of the biggest parts came from Junior Caminero, who delivered a big hit that helped kickstart the rally. Suddenly, the Dominican lineup looked exactly like what everyone feared: dangerous, explosive, and impossible to contain. But for Mets fans, there's one player we're watching more than anyone else: Juan Soto, because the real MLB season is right around the corner. And if Soto is locked in during the WBC, that's a great sign for the Mets. Soto is the kind of hitter who can completely take over games. He sees the strike zone better than almost anyone. He has power to all fields, and when he gets into a rhythm, pitchers have almost no answers. The reason this team is so scary is the sheer amount of offensive talent. Every spot in the lineup has someone who can change the game. Power hitters, contact hitters, speed, athleticism, and players who absolutely love the big stage, which is exactly what the WBC provides. After just one game of pool play, a few things are already becoming clear. Team USA looks extremely dangerous, Japan looks explosive, and the Dominican Republic looks exactly like the offensive powerhouse everyone expected. If these teams continue playing at this level, the later rounds of the tournament could be unbelievable. Because imagine the potential matchups: USA versus Japan, USA versus Dominican Republic, Japan versus Dominican Republic. Those games will feel like baseball version of a World Cup final. World Baseball Classic always delivers incredible moments. This year might be different because the amount of star power in this tournament is insane. You got Aaron Judge leading Team USA. You got Shohei Ohtani rewriting history for Japan. And you got Juan Soto and the Dominican Republic lineup ready to explode at any moment. We're only one game into pool play. This tournament is just getting started. But now I want to hear from you. Who do you think is winning the World Baseball Classic? Team USA, Japan, Dominican Republic? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you like baseball coverage like this, especially with the MLB season right around the corner, make sure to subscribe because we're going to be following the entire WBC tournament all the way to the championship. And trust me, the best games are still ahead. See you guys on the next one.